Hello everyone. In today's video I'm going to demonstrate some of the features of the lookup function. And the mPower lookup function is similar to Excel's VLookup, but it's much more powerful. If you've used Excel's VLookup function, you know that you can search for values in one sheet that are the same as another and return a column from that sheet. So in this case, I've got these two columns in this sheet of 2015 sales life to date. And if I wanted to find these albums in another sheet that I have the same values, I can use the lookup function. So I'd be searching from column A here. I'd be searching in column C, and Excel's VLookup would let me return any one column that is to the right of C. So it'll only let me return one column. But mPower's lookup can return any number of columns from that spreadsheet, as well as place them wherever you want them placed. And the columns don't have to be to the right of the one that you're searching. So let me just execute the lookup function here and show you that. So when I select my lookup function, it presents a list of open files, and with that, it shows the file that you're in. This is the target file, so that's what it's showing me right there. And if I click that, it'll show me the tabs in this. So this is my target file and my target tab here, or the active tab, I'm sorry, in that file. If I click my file where I want to search for those songs or those albums, I'll click this, and as you can see, the songs tab here is also got the little X here because that's the active tab in that file. So I'm going to be searching the songs tab in this file for the same album name. So I could say continue here, or just double click. And when I click, I get a pop-up that is basically a formula where I can concatenate different columns to create a search key. I can do substrings, but we're going to just do a basic search. So how we use this is you highlight the whole column here, which is different than the VLookup. So I'm searching column A data here, or I'm using this to search. And when I say OK, it'll bounce over to the tab I said I want to search and return values from. And in this one, I want to search column C for the same names as in column A. So as you see here, you've got many here to one in the other one. So it's only going to return one of these rows, and it's always the last row that it finds. So I'm going to continue here. So when I continue, it shows a list of all the columns in that source table that I'm searching in. And as I said, there's many to one, so the name, which is your song name, doesn't make any sense. The artist does, because the album and the artist, there's a one for one, of course, artist and album. So maybe I want to return just the artist here, so I could double click that. And I could say the album artist. I could say the track and disc number. And also at the bottom here, you see that there's a number of matches. That's not actually part of that songs tab, but what it does, it counts the number of hits it found in that sheet with the same key. Because in this case, like I said, we're going to be returning only one row of data elements for each album. but it found, let's say, 10, 15, whatever, how many there were per album. So this actually just does a count and says, hey, you've got more than one hit, which is good if you expect to only have one. So sometimes you might be looking at data, and if you find more than one hit, you know it's a problem because you're only supposed to have one record that's unique in that lookup file. So I'm going to pull that into, and we can position these however we want. Like I can put artist at the top. I can take these two and say move them down, so on and so forth. So I'm going to continue now. Right now, we'll just not address all of these different selections. That will be in the part 2 video. I'll explain all those. Okay, so it runs and finds all the matching hits in that sheet and puts them where you wanted them. Like I said, we wanted artist in front of album, and then we've got these other ones afterwards. It gives me a summary of how many rows it found hits for. There were 2 rows without matches. 1 row had a blank key, so it kind of reports that as kind of a just notification. Maybe it's an error, maybe it's not, that you didn't realize you had some blank record in there. And shows you how long it took to run and the number of columns. And also you can see that the color of the column is different. So in configuration, we can set the color of the column. So this way it's easy to distinguish columns that you pulled in from a different source when you're working with this. Now, as you notice, this says no match. So there were 2 records it said it didn't find a match for. And I'm just going to filter on those, so I'll display those only. So right here, it didn't find a match for Live Full House or the Singular Adventures of Style Council. And the reason is because if I go over to the source here, notice how Live Full House is enclosed in quotes, the word live. Well, that's not a match, of course, so it did not find a hit there. So it just puts a no match in all of your columns. All other rows, except for that one and the others, Singular Adventures, did find hits, though. And this was based on a soft search, which we'll go into later, but we could have made this find a hit if we used a different search method. And as I indicated, you have the number of matches that you can have brought back, which is very nice for giving you an idea if you have duplicates. So these are all the columns it brought back. And just to let you know, the formats come back too. So if there was a dollar formatted column I was bringing back from the other spreadsheet, it comes back as dollar formatted in the same format without decimals. And date would be the same. So it remembers the format, at least based on the first row of data that it's looking at, because we don't return them for every row. We just look at one row in that column and assume the format is the same for all of that row. I hope that helps, and please watch the part 2 video for more advanced features that the lookup function gives. Thank you.